is for a Scorpio reading. Press like, subscribe, notification. I like to tell stories that will not resonate with everyone. Like a good story on the one you want to watch. Okay, Scorpio. The Queen of Swords and the Five of Pentacles. So, I feel like this woman comes from the ghetto because the Five of Pentacles, they come from nothing, but they're really smart. This also reminds me about what I was just watching on a TikTok reel of a woman breaking down rocks, breaking it down. Okay, so breaking down rocks and making it into clay. But also, I feel like that's the message, breaking down rocks. Breaking down everything to its formula, to its original formula, whatever it is on that those tablets, the ones that really smart people do. I forgot what they're called. Those chains, those codes, those chains. So someone could have grew up very poor right here, and this woman is holding a big knife up. So in this knife, I feel like learning how to share with everyone. Learning what to do with the things that they already got right in front of them. There's not much, but I got a knife, and with the knife I can divide. With the Five of Pentacles, look, she's with the knife and she's going to divide. Also, I feel like this could be probably a surgeon going into somebody's body, and they're going to take parts out. Like this is taking out cyst. Also, this could be an eye cyst. You do know for eye cyst, you get a really hot rag, and for a whole week, 3 times a day, you rub on it until it, and then start wearing glasses and stuff, because eye cyst. Also, eye assist. Someone could be assisting. Before they became a doctor, they started from the bottom. They started from a janitor, and then they started doing schooling, and then they became a doctor. They became in a late age. Or someone at 5 years old decided they wanted to be a doctor. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. In this case, I feel like it's a doctor, an eye doctor, because of they could be dealing with Osiris, Iris, not Osiris. I don't know, Osiris, but the eye. Also, these are new contact lenses that can give you some kind of information. I feel like it's testing through the eye that you blink a couple of times. Also, this reminds me of this knife can hypnotize. All right, man, this is getting fucking deep. Okay, because you see, this wand or whatever she's holding can hypnotize. It can make you forget everything I said. You're looking at me over here, right? You're looking at me over here, but at the end, I'm doing something behind my arms. You can't see it, but that's because the attention is right here. Also reminds me of like how a snake works, because at the end of the tail of the snake is the rattle. It's rattling. But at the same time, the snake is over here while it's rattling over here. The snake is right here, and it grabs you by the throat. And it strikes. But it's telling you the danger is right here, so it can sneak up and get you in the eyes. This is like a black mamba. Somebody is using hypnosis on a snake. Look, this looks like 2 snakes. It knows that the snake, literally, there is those 2 eyes, and you know they see certain colors. If you study that snake, if that snake is being passed down through your family lineage, you know that certain snakes can only see, they have eyes, but they can only see certain colors. And they're more into temperature. They use their tongue to see if you're cold-blooded, hot-blooded, and their skin tells them the texture where they're at. Their scent. So if you know thy enemy, then you know how to strike. I got to see on TikTok there was a man, and he was putting a snake like a cobra, and he was trying to get its attention and making it go into a hole. And once it got into the hole, there were long ass tubes. He would turn it upside down, and the snake will coil under. Uh, but it was really scary. They also use a lot of snakes when it comes to spirituality and stuff, is to test to see if your faith can conquer a snake. And they use the snake a lot as a form on how to attack. Look at me, I'm over here. I'm over here. Ah. Poked your eyes out. Poked your eyes out. That's all I'm getting from these two cards. But you can learn a lot from the snake. The snake can teach you a lot. It can teach you that its venom can be very poisonous. It can teach you that the venom is what gives you the antidote. It can teach you how to look at your enemies, such as a snake. How do you convince a snake? There's also that saying about how there was a woman who saved a snake from the fire, and as soon as it got better, it bit her. You can't blame a snake for being a snake. Also, you know, they say that people who talk to snakes and can hypnotize them and stuff like that, I mean, those are very special people. Would you say they're chosen, or would you say that they're magicians? Would you say they're shamans? Would you really say that they're anointed by the Most High? I believe in the Bible they talked about a wizard who turned his snake into a staff, just like Jafar, right? Jafar. I get the Ten of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles. Also, did you know there's a part at Amazon, allegedly, I'm just saying, look it up, that all the anacondas have been going over there to meet up. And I don't know if they're just having an orgy again, or it's time for them to mate, but they're just like the eels and just like these snakes. I don't know if it's just certain season, or when these animals do certain things, is because they're letting us know in a weird way that there's a hurricane coming, there's a storm coming, there's something very serious that's about to happen. Anyways, I get the Ten of Swords and I get the Knight of Pentacles. So, do you see, I see on this side, I have swords and I have holes. Look at the snake. Look, and I'm covering, I happen to cover its face. But doesn't it look like a snake? Also, when we talk about evolution, we talked about a lot about dragons existing long time ago. And dragons going under the holes during the time that it's just a conspiracy theory, some shit I'm just bringing up on my head. These dragons used to fly, but when there was that big boom theory or whatever they said happened, what if they went under the holes trying to, and they were able, let's say if it's going really fast from the air and it's landing down certain caves, certain things, they can dive so deep that maybe they can hit another realm. And now they have came back as snakes. And because once upon a time, you do know a chicken is T-Rex's cousin. Have you guys ever seen an owl without its feathers? I don't know, that noise is really crazy right now. Y'all could be going to an exhibition or something where you're seeing the snakes. Also, the snakes could be mating. It's mating season. If you have, like, if you're at a place where there's a bunch of snakes, they're starting to breed. But anyways, We talk about in Chinese culture and stuff like that. They always have these dragons, but they always look like snakes. They always look like snakes. And I mean, is it possible that snakes have morphed into very different animals depending where they landed and how they ended up? I don't know. It's a lot to handle. Someone else, but I think this is kind of cool. Someone's getting introduced into learning how to handle snakes. If someone's working outside or out there in the wild, someone's going to learn a lot about the snakes and how they will look at you straight in your eye at the same time trying to get you distracted over here with its coil. And I feel like it's important for you to strike. Look at that fucking snake in the eye. And you know what they say when they're doing like Chinese shit and they're saying, oh, it's the snake and stuff like that. The first thing they go for is that neck. Grab that motherfucker and pull it out. I'm kidding. Don't be like me. I just like watching movies. That's it. I just like to tell stories. But it's similar to that. I feel like someone's going to face this snake. And that snake, you just, when it's looking at you, at your eyes, trying to distract with something else. Know thy enemy. Sorry, let me take a look. And hello, everyone, but I don't know. I feel like sometimes snakes seem very scary. They really are. But I think they're more terrified of us, and that's why they attack us. They know that humans can they're known to kill animals. And we don't know the snake story, but we also know that snakes, they're not playing when they're doing all of that. They're doing their little gang signs and their mouth is open. So just remember, don't be scared of the snake. You look at it in the eyes and you grab it by the neck.